Oh yeah, crack it. It's nice.
Oh.
No, it's not. Oh my God. I've never heard anyone burp on the podcast. Okay, no.
Like shit that happens to nobody happens to me. I got bit by a snake when I was in Australia. And like Australians like live there their whole lives and like, that never happened to me, mate.
Steph Infection.
How we do the podcast, Susan?
I love you. She makes you like enraged.
Well,
but she's the
it's like,
cute, but you love her so much also, yeah.
I know. I'm not abusing my fucking dog, Kaitlin. Thank you.
No, is that how we opened the podcast?
Yes, we're starting.
You just beat her in the other room.
I did it.
No.
I can prove that I don't beat her. I've done it before.
Oh.
Look, I fake punch and she doesn't flinch.
Wait, you've had to prove this before?
No.
I swear I don't beat my dog. But she drives you literally insane, but I know how obsessed you are with her.
Well, because she does
also.
stupid shit. She ate a full brownie this morning. I had to take a full square 2-bite brownie, a square 2-bite circle, out of her fucking lips.
Oh, no. Yeah, because they can't eat chocolate.
No, and she tried
She
to. And then she ate a bag of cashews.
Well, how much does this dog cost you in vet bills? I know it's a lot.
Probably at this point. Oh, I've got to put shoes on. Well, whatever. I got socks on. Big whoop.
We already started. You
This
just
is it.
like fucking go right into it. We swear, right?
Kaitlin Mamie?
The question is that, huh?
Kaitlin Mamie.
Yeah.
Is that, or
Right,
is that
I know, I have a
Kaitlin Love?
di-
You have 3 names.
I know. I came out here and I was like, my stage name is Kaitlin Mamie. Yeah, but that's like the name I go by for entertainment stuff. And then when I do work stuff, corporate, my day job is Kaitlin Loftus. But
Well, there we go. Kaitlin Loftus. We're very good friends.
Yes.
Hilarious sketch.
We've been friends for a long
comedian,
time.
Content creator. You got me this fucking house.
I did. We used to live 2 blocks down, and that's
No, 1 block, 3 houses
wait,
down.
not even a block. Wait, we live 3 doors. Wait, 3 doors down.
3 doors
'cause
down.
it was
That's
the
it.
band.
Yes.
Yeah, we always
That was
remember it that way. Yeah, we were living there, and you slept on our crack.
Oh yeah, crack it. It's nice.
Wait,
That's
I want to hear the sound.
Yeah.
Oh, I
good
love a
ADR.
can.
I love you hear the crinkles. Mm-hmm. Can's better.
Cans
Can of
are
Diet
always
Coke?
better. No, ew, don't get it in the plastic bottle.
No,
absolutely
disgusting.
not. What is it with like most millennials? We love Diet Coke and Coke Zero.
I think it's a good hangover cure.
Oh,
Is it
I
not?
used to literally because we were here in our 20s, me and my comedy partner Laura. Every time we were hungover a lot, we would walk to that taco stand.
Oh, yeah.
Is that still there? The one that loves you?
Oh, Juan Montano? He's still there. He literally, this is how fucked up it is. I'll go with Jefferson and he'll like turn away for a second and Juan will look at me like this.
Ew!
When Jefferson's not looking.
Well, you were like leading him on for years. Did you ever make out with him? Or no, you just did it for free. Wait, did you?
No, I got free tacos though.
Yeah, you got free
I got a lot of
tacos.
free tacos. And one time I was sad, he gave me a shot of tequila at the back of his trunk because I got stood up on a Tinder date and I went and cried down there. I know, he's a nice
Juan
boy.
Capano. What was his name?
Juan Capano. Juan Montano. Nice guy. He came out one day though, very short.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would never
Like
work.
we're talking 5'1".
Oh, so little.
Little tiny little
little one. But we used to go there and get Diet Cokes when we were hungover, which was fucking a lot.
I was
drank a
thinking the other
lot.
day, we drank a lot. We had no money.
No, we had no money. We would if we had like $10, we would go and buy a gallon of wine for $5 and then have $5 off because we're from Canada where booze is so expensive. And we got here and we're like, what? You can get like a jug of tequila for $8? Yeah, it was like just gives you we didn't know this, but of course it's the worst hangover of your life because you're drinking like, gasoline essentially.
Oh, we
But
were
it was
drinking, we were
cheap.
huffing gas, and I was sleeping on a couch that you guys found on the side of the road.
Oh my God, I remember this fucking couch. We were like, it's free, but it was in the hills. So we rented this U-Haul to get this.
I did not know that.
It was the worst nightmare ever. Laura smashed into a car to get this couch.
God.
It was like we were on this like 90-degree hill trying to get this couch, me and Laura. Anyway, it was not even that nice of a couch.
It was disgusting. It was poo-poo caca brown.
Yeah,
it was
really
stained.
ugly.
It was gross.
I know.
It became my home for 3 months.
Yeah, was it 3 months?
It was 3 months. I actually there'd be nights where you guys would go out and I was so wildly depressed. You would leave me on the couch and you'd come back and I'd still be just swiping my life away on Tinder. It was sad. I was sad.
Man. Yeah, Laura lived we had a curtain for a wall in there. It was a 1-bedroom.
It was a 1 bedroom. There was 3 of us in a 1 fucking
It was pretty
bedroom.
big though.
It was pretty big.
Yeah.
Smelled like piss. I
Yeah.
want to talk about the neighbor.
I knew you were going to bring this up. I hoped you would bring this up.
Because it's psychotic.
They hated us.
Okay, they're still living there.
Of course they are. There's 12 of them. It's like a clown car.
It's a clown.
Paying like
what is it?
$500
It's a
a
what?
month.
It's a mother and what? 5 kids.
Yeah,
and when
they're
I say kids,
psychotic
I mean
sons.
older than us.
Oh,
adults.
yeah. Yes.
Like 50s.
Oh yes, full adult sons who literally hated us so much. Like one of them, well, I mean, we didn't make a great first impression. Like our first week there, it was like Laura's birthday and we did cocaine till like 4 a.m. at night.
Well,
I mean,
well, also
come on,
there's
welcome to the neighborhood.
5 of them in one bedroom.
Yeah, it's not my fault. Your whole family's living there. I mean,
well, and then
so we used to have a little balcony. You know this story. And their mother
Yes.
really hated us.
Yes, she
So we
did.
had this little tiny balcony. And I swear we went out there like 5 times total. We like brought our coffees outside and we're like, oh, look at us in LA and our coffees. And then one time we were out there, we're like, you smell like vinegar? Like, what is that fucking smell? And we looked down and the old woman is like spraying us like cats up on our balcony.
She was. She
like
hated
trying to
you.
get us off of there. And then they called like the building inspector and they realized that the patio was not permitted and they got it removed.
it was. Let's not call it a patio.
It was barely a patio.
It was
I
like not
mean,
even a foot. I can't believe you guys actually sat on that. I would be terrified to go
Well,
on that thing.
apparently it was not safe. because they
No,
removed
it was metal rusted bars,
not-
and you guys were sitting on there.
Yeah, well.
I'll never forget the time. Okay, yes, there were times that we were a little loud, but the one time it was me, you, Dave Merhej, and they called the police for noise complaint.
Yes, okay. I love
And
this.
it was like 2 cops that come up, and they're like, "Hey, we're getting a noise complaint," and we all went, "Come on in." We go, "Please come in." I go, "You're like, we're drinking tea." They're like, they walk in. We literally had a board game out, and we all had a mug of the tea just
Like
was pouring.
blankets wrapped
We had
around ourselves, yeah.
Literally, they were like, they walked in. They were like, "Oh my god." They're like, "Okay, so now we know that when they call the police, they're fucking lying."
Of course.
like, they realize that this is a waste of our time.
Right, because they called multiple times.
Oh yeah,
for
and
sure.
just us drinking tea. Like,
Yeah, quiet little mice upstairs.
probably couldn't afford alcohol that day. That's why we were having tea.
Yeah, probably. Or maybe there's whiskey in that tea. I mean, who are we kidding?
And you let me borrow your car a lot because I didn't have a car when I first moved out here.
Okay.
So I'd always take your car and muck it around, and then we wouldn't be able to find parking spots. You know what I realize now? How stupid we fucking are.
What?
Why didn't we just park on Santa Monica?
Oh,
It's
I
free.
don't know.
It was free till 8 in the morning. We're all looking at these side streets.
I
We're
don't
fucking
know.
stupid.
I didn't.
Remember
We
nights
must have
cried?
I looked there. Come on.
There's no way you did. There's always spots in Santa Monica. Always.
Well, was there 10 years ago?
Yes, there was.
Well, fuck.
10 years I've been here.
Wow.
You've been here
Yeah,
for
I've
what,
been here.
11?
We moved here in 2013.
Shit.
So that's what, 12 years.
You know, her breathing is annoying. Is it not?
I don't hear it. I have
Okay,
not noticed,
all right.
But she's
'cause
making a
it's-
great
it's
footrest.
driving
let
me
me tell
insane
you.
right now.
I've got this furry little footrest. Susan's kind of obsessed with me today, and I feel really special about it.
Susan has behaved as such that she's never listened to a thing I've said in her life. When you walked in here today,
Yeah, and it made
unreal.
Steph furious.
Well, the jumping up, I don't like.
Right.
I
Cookie does
trained
that
very
too.
hard for the jumping up not to
Really?
happen. That's the
I haven't-
main thing. I hate when dogs do that.
Yeah.
And then she's looking at me all smug right now, like she doesn't give a shit.
Cookie jumps up too. I have a dog as well. I have a pit bull.
And they're
a
best friends.
Frank.
They're lesbians.
Oh,
They
right. Didn't they
actually
lick
are.
each other's pussies?
Like they're pussies, and they like kiss. Susan like licks her whole mouth. I have videos on my phone of her licking the inside of her lips all the way through.
Oh, that's
But I was
really
trying to think of other
sweet.
like nasty stories of that house.
I mean, without outing certain comedians.
Oh,
I'm trying to think. Pigman?
Pigman? Ew, Pigman. I mentioned Pigman before. I had to take it out because I don't want to talk about him. But there was one, I remember one time Laura was dating this or sleeping with this really disgusting
Of
guy.
course she was.
And-
Our friend Laura is like really pretty and just, I've never met anyone who fucks the uglier guys than her.
unreal.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, you don't have to do this.
And never had an STD. Or had like one.
Yeah, I think she
Like
had one.
she had
Can we
one. No,
say
she had
that?
one. I think, yeah, no, whatever.
Laura doesn't
Who cares
care,
what
whatever.
it was
I
like
feel
chlamydia or something. She had a pill. She never had like a serious one.
No, I remember
never
this
had
story.
herpes.
We had lost power and she fucking was taking like a candle and like trying to look at her vagina and thought she had herpes and she was like crying.
And then one time I looked at her vagina and she just had her whole tampon string there and it was like full ingrown hair. And I was like, why wouldn't you have kind of moved this? This is
She's
disgusting.
the most disgusting friend.
She is disgusting. I always talk about gross shoes on here, but I remember one night she was going on about how, she's like, yeah, this guys want me to like piss on him. And I don't know. And we were like, what? Like she brought up so casually. I'm like, where? You can't piss here. It's a
No.
1 bedroom.
No. She had a lot of stories. Like, I feel like all my gross stories are about Laura, to be honest. Like, I remember
Yeah.
she fucked this really hot guy and then apparently like shit all over him. And then
yeah.
she took like a selfie of the two of them and you could see like poo on his chest. And she's like, look, I'm with this guy. And I'm like, and you shit on him.
What was the one dude where she shit and then she put her knee in it and smeared it in the guy's sheets?
I think it was that
That's
guy.
the guy. Okay, I was like,
who
oh my
was
God.
really hot. Like, I met him and I was kind of mad. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he's so hot, Laura. Really, you're gonna fuck this guy and
He
shit on
does
him?
gross. Well, fucking Bonnaroo. I don't even know if
Okay.
I've talked about Bonnaroo.
That's a
on this-
story I was gonna tell because you were like, "What's a gross story?" Is our friend Laura, who has been on the podcast, and she's just the grossest person. But she came like around our tent one night, and she's like, "I just took a shit," and I'm like, "You shit right next to our tent?" Like, what the fuck is wrong
didn't
with
know
you?
this.
Now we're gonna smell your shit for the whole weekend. Like here's our tent. Like, she shit like right there.
I did not know this.
I'm like, what is wrong with you? I mean, I get it. You don't want to go in the outhouse, but don't shit next to our tent.
the outhouse was filled to the brim. I
I
will
mean, they were
say.
disgusting. We would just, you know what we would do at festivals, and this is a good trick. We'd wear skirts, and we'd be like watching a show, and then we would just like sit down and piss. Just like spread our skirts out. And then stand up and like keep walking. Our tent smelled like a
What?
horse barn by the end of the weekend.
I'm
It
so glad that Allison and I had our own tent. I looked in one morning. They were out. No, I'll never forget. So Bonnaroo, this is what, 15, 20 years ago?
I guess so, yeah. It's right after I got, yes, I got
It
mugged.
was
Long story.
so, you go what?
Mugged by a bunch of chicks.
Oh,
Remember I had a
we gotta
black
tell
eye?
that. No, we'll tell that story. That's always fucked up.
Hey.
But no, that story's insane. But we have so many stories. We go to Bonnaroo, young bucks. We drive down your small little
Young
fucking
bucks,
car.
yeah.
It's so fucking hot. A girl died of heat exhaustion that year.
We brought a shade tent. We didn't bring the shade part. Remember
We
that?
brought poles. We had to get
Tarp.
a tarp and tie it up
Duct
with
tape
pens. Duct tape and pens. We were holding it together. It was so windy
so
and so hot.
unprepared.
It was insane. I can't believe we didn't die.
I know.
But you two,
believe me and Laura didn't die yet.
you guys went out and you were like licking battery acid off some guy's dick. I don't know where the fuck you were.
Doing
Allison
that,
and I were
yeah.
wiping our butts with baby wipes. But you guys were like, you're gonna come. We're like, we're having fun here, and we were just like putting the damp.
know.
It was so nice. The next morning, we found out that you guys hopped into the VIP tent.
Yes, I do. I still remember Laura hopping the fence. She's really clumsy, and it was like a slingshot, like a Goofy movie, like a boing, like her whole body, like yoo, like flipped onto the ground. She was not. I like hop right in like a little leprechaun, and she
But then you both had sex with somebody in a porta potty, or she did.
She did in the porta potty. I fucked this guy on a cot, which was like really awkward when I was like trying to be on top, and they're like these metal poles, and I was like trying to like straddle him, and it was not right. They were like oil riggers, like they were not.
And did you wear
hot.
condoms?
No.
The next morning, Allison and I were absolutely repulsed. We wouldn't go. We peeked in the tent. We thought Laura was dead. We absolutely her eyes were
There
in the
was
back of her
another
head.
time in the weekend
Yeah.
I thought she was dead.
Yeah.
Like I literally was waking her up and her eyes were rolled into the back of her head and I started like screaming at her and then she woke up and thought it was hilarious. I can't believe she's not dead.
No, I can't believe she's not dead.
Well, me too, honestly. And now I have a fucking daughter and I'm like, I think of all the stupid shit I did that she's going to do that stupid shit.
No,
Yes.
I don't think so.
Of course she will.
No, because you know how stupid that shit was, and now you can tell her not to be a stupid idiot.
But didn't our parents do the same thing?
no, my parents didn't tell me shit. If my parents had been like raging whores on back in the day having sex with disgusting men, I would have been like, ew, I don't want to be like you.
I had a really ragey horror phase. I had a long list.
We did out here because I think LA, we were so, I mean, speaking for myself, I was so fucking depressed. I was so depressed.
I
I
did
was like,
not know
I was
that.
really
Bad
Well,
friend.
no, I mean, we all were drunk and not doing anything.
Right. Well,
Like,
we
you
were
guys were doing
trying
some shows,
to
I was
be
doing nothing.
famous, and we were going out every night. And they don't pay you when you're a comedian; they just give you drink tickets. So it's like that's why we're all alcoholics. It's like, well, I gotta get my money's worth.
Yeah.
Came all the way to fucking
Santa Monica Promenade.
yeah, fuck that place. I was gonna say like Bakersfield,
Oh,
and they're like,
God,
here's one
Bakersfield.
drink ticket. I can't tell you how many times I've been blackout drunk at a show, and yeah.
Oh God! Well, I
Yeah.
want to hear. Okay, the story. I forgot about that mugging story. That was
I'm telling you-
fucked.
And this all comes back to like the pregnancy, like shit that happens to nobody happens to me. I got bit by a snake when I was in Australia. And like Australians like live there their whole lives. And like, that never happened to me, mate.
Wait, where'd you get bit?
I was like walking on the sidewalk and I thought it was, this is like maybe an OCD thing that I have, but like I'll be walking along and if I see like a crunchy looking leaf or like a stick, I'll be in my head like, I'm going to step on that stick. So I saw a stick.
Well, that's not
It's
OCD
satisfying.
thing. It's not an OCD. It's just a weird thing you do. Don't blame that on OCD.
I don't know. Also, when I was a little kid, I used to always look up like this. My parents got so pissed. So stop looking up like this. They'd catch me at the table. I'd be off in the corner like.
For what?
I don't know. The
Did you
strain on
like
my
it?
eyes was like felt good.
Oh God.
Anyway.
Yeah, you tell your daughter these things so she doesn't become a fucking weirdo like you.
She will be. She's 50% me. She has no choice. But I was walking along and I saw this stick and I was like, in my head, like, I'm going to step on this stick. And I walked along, stepped on it, and suddenly I felt something like tug on my foot. And I was like, what the fuck? And like kicked it off. And then I saw it slither away. A snake. I stepped on a fucking snake. And then I had to go to the fucking hospital. The chef in the restaurant tried to catch the snake and he got bit too. And then the two of us were in the ambulance together going to the hospital.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How bad was it?
Well, the problem was they couldn't tell if it was a tree snake or a brown snake. Tree snakes are completely harmless. Brown snakes are the deadliest snake in Australia.
Okay.
Or second deadliest snake.
Yes.
So they didn't know what bit me. So literally when I left, so the chef
I just knock her tooth out.
the chef, no, I lost my train of
The
thought.
chef, the deadliest snake.
As I left,
Sit down, Susan.
Oh, the chef caught the snake, and as I was leaving the hospital, there was like this styrofoam box that said "Beware live snake" because they were like,
And he's like, you want to finish what you started? Step on the stick. And you're like, oh, you get bit again.
yeah, open back up just to check.
Hey, a
stick. Yeah. So stupid shit happens to me. That happens to no
Yes.
one.
So, okay, this happened in Toronto.
The mugging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to the Madison.
Yes, which is, for those of you who don't know Toronto, I thought it was a really bad, like, college bar.
Well, I loved it. I don't know.
Because it was I think I went once and it's too many people.
Maybe
It's
I
not
like
my
that shit because
crowd.
even my bachelorette, it was like all frat guys in San Diego. And I was like, I'm having the time of my life. And the rest of you were like, this place sucks.
Well, we were on mushrooms dealing with fucking children.
Right.
But
yeah.
it didn't matter. It was your...
Yeah, I had a good time.
Also, that was the most fun the night before, was it? Or
yes,
after?
where I made everybody dress up like their favorite SNL character.
And we had a fucking blast.
Because everybody was so in character, like
And
all night.
so ugly. Like everyone pretty much dressed up like a man.
Yes.
Your sister being Will Ferrell in the hot tub. I'll never forget it. There was a hot tub there. And she dedicated so badly that she was just in the hot tub alone in the backyard for so long.
Waiting for someone to find her.
I came out and she goes, come into the hot tub. I'm like, how long have you been sitting? She's so
waiting
wrinkled.
to do that bit.
Yeah. She
Waiting
was
for so long.
pruned up.
Yeah, the hot tub was probably freezing at that point. Oh my God, which reminds me that when we went on tour. We went on tour and we stayed at my mom's hot tub until it was like freezing cold.
Yeah, that was...
We stayed in that
we
long.
were bizarre that tour.
Yeah, my mom gave us weed. We're all over the place.
Okay,
We have so
we
many
haven't talked
stories.
in so long.
I know.
Okay, get back to the mugging because the mugging's fucked.
So I'm in line and this girl starts making friends with me in line. And I'm like kind of buzzed. I'm like,
You by
I'm
yourself?
by myself. I'm by myself.
okay.
And I remember her being like, we're chatting for a bit. And she's like, hey, I like you. Like, you're fun. And like, she put her arm around me and then started walking with me. And then I remember her arm started getting tighter and tighter. And then suddenly, like, she has me in this headlock. And then it's like, it's been so long, but all I remember is like, there was like a group of girls and they obviously were preying on me. They stole my iPhone that I had gotten that day. And I remember it was like an iPhone 3. Like this is how long
big
ago
deal,
it was.
though.
But I was so upset because I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I finally was like, I'm doing it. I'm like getting an iPhone. And then they stole it that day. Like I could not believe it was
God.
happening. But I was really feisty. Like I think they thought like they were just gonna get it from me and go.
yeah.
But
You
I was
fight.
like, fuck no. And then so there was like, she was like, the girl was holding it and chatting and I tried to grab it. And then the girl like punched me and then I punched her and we were like fighting each other. And then like all of them were like punching my skull. And like it was
my
like all of them
God.
brawling and beating the shit out of me. And this is the craziest part of the story is I would say like, I was like, I remember getting punched and I could feel my eye shut. So I was like full of blood, eye shut, and like the girls just started like speed walking away with my phone. And I was like, there's so many people around. How can these girls just walk away with my phone?
Fucking stopping?
So literally I'm like pleading with strangers, like, please help me, call the police. Those women stole my phone. And nobody helped me. Nobody. And one guy tried to help me and he was like, hey, like give her her phone back. And then he kind of got into it with one of the girls and I think she kind of like fell over. And then I remember that making people be like, whoa, man, whoa. Because I think they thought it was like a cat fight.
Yes, and you're like, no, he's fucking helping me.
Right. Nobody called the police.
No one called the police.
No, it was like my terrible, shitty boyfriend at the time, Travis, came out. And
Ew.
I know, we don't need to talk about him.
Hate Travis. I will say the name. I hated that man.
Everybody did.
No, I've never met somebody that I immediately was like, this guy sucks.
I know.
Like the second he opened his
him.
lips. What was he up to? We don't need to talk about him. But
I really
got
hate
fat.
him. Yeah, he's ugly.
I love when a
He
piece of
sucks.
shit gets fat.
I hate him.
It's funny to me.
I hate him. He sucks, and we don't need to spend any time talking about him.
Anyway, so nobody came. No cops were called.
No, the cops eventually were called, but Travis came and called them.
Oh God!
Because nobody called the cops.
That's insane.
I know. So that's why I will always help someone. And even if it gets me into trouble, I have gotten friends punched before for like getting involved.
Well, get involved.
I always get involved.
Also, fucking. Luckily, they didn't bring anything else but their goddamn fists. That would have been a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. But then, so that's what led. So I had a black eye. I had a bit of a black eye when we went to Bonnaroo. I was like, why did we start talking about this? Yes.
Okay.
Leading back
that
to
makes
Bonnaroo,
sense. Yes.
we fucked the oil riggers.
Yeah, and Alice and I fingered our assholes with baby wipes.
Yeah.
Never been happier in my life. Okay, I remember the grossest thing of Bonnaroo. The last thing of Bonnaroo. Well, there's two gross things, but
we're talking about gross things. So.
There was a fountain.
Oh my God, yes.
There was a fountain in the middle, and it started like a nice. It was like right in the middle of the fairgrounds, and it was like watercolor. The first day we got there.
It was a mushroom. With
Yeah,
like
yeah,
water
yeah,
coming out of it.
yes.
It was really pretty and fun. Yeah.
Day one, watercolor was what we were looking at. By day 2 or 3, quite murky, quite gray. Some would say.
Getting a little brown.
Laura was in there pissing and washing her pussy, and then also refilling her water bottle up. Turns out it was in fact the same water. They were just circulating.
Oh,
over and
yeah.
over. There was no clean water. It was the water that would go back. How is she alive?
I feel sick.
That actually, when Alice and I found that out, I think Allison actually did throw up. We were violently ill after that.
Again, how does she not get like E. coli or something?
That's
like she's
E. coli.
drinking shit.
She's immune. She is E. coli. I think
Right.
I think Laura started
fingers at all times.
If you saw Laura's fingers right now, we could call her right now. We should phone her. I guarantee she's got dirt in her nails, and every single piece of her toenail has just a clump of nail polish on it. Her toenail never has a full
You're so
polish.
right.
At my cottage, one time we were sitting, our feet were so disgusting. These flies were swarming it. I was like, I didn't even know there was house flies.
Because
there's no
poop
house
everywhere.
flies up north. They followed her from the city. It's like horse flies and
You know,
mosquitoes.
in
I've
the
never
car
seen a
when
house
they're
fly.
like down on the gas pedal, just like perched there waiting for her to get out.
They're just so gross. Like, where is she?
Wait.
Disgusting.
They probably live a lot longer when they live with her.
Oh,
'cause there's so
her
much
whole
to
house
eat.
is by flies. That's why her whole house of flies. Her bed is flies. Disgusting. Okay, I know you're scared to tell your story. So Kaitlin I actually brought you up on another podcast.
Oh, really?
I brought you up saying that, we're talking about childbirth, and I had brought up, I said my friend Kaitlin went through something very serious. And then I asked you if you'd want to come do it on here, and you're like, I don't want to scare
women. Well, that's part of it is I went into birth so naive. Like, ironically, pregnancy is the thing that really I was fucked up by, because I was just like, oh my God, I'm having a baby. My whole life is going to change. I was like grieving the whole time and going through all these emotions. But birth was the last thing I thought about. I was just like, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I remember my OB was like, you have a great attitude. Like, I'm going to go in. I was like, I would like to deliver vaginally, but if it has to be a C-section, it has to be a C-section. We're like, great. Like, shook hands, high five. Like, it's going to be
Wow, it's a
awesome.
little too casual.
I mean, I know. I just didn't think about it.
But wait, what did you think? Like, what were the problems with the pregnancy that you were really struggling
Honestly, it
with?
was just all mental health
Okay,
stuff.
okay.
This is what made my birth so bizarre. Is my pregnancy was flawless. Nothing.
No.
No. I had a little morning sickness. I felt icky,
But no,
maybe threw
full-
up once or twice.
Okay.
But the rest of my pregnancy was literally.
And you guys
fine.
were trying. You wanted to.
I mean, we took out my IUD and we were just like, I think we went as far as being like, well, let's take out your ID because it was about to expire. And we're
Okay,
like,
yeah.
well, let's just take it out and give you
See
like
what
a little
happens.
break.
Yeah, okay.
And then 2 weeks later, I was pregnant.
Oh, fuck.
So I didn't even
That's
really.
fucking fast.
It's really fucking
For
fast.
women our age?
I know, because I was 38
yeah.
at the time. Yep. And I
Wow.
thought, and also my husband's a huge stoner, so I thought I was going to have a while. I thought I was going to have
Yeah.
like two-headed sperm bumping around.
Yeah.
And no, it happened immediately. And so I
Shit.
was freaked the fuck out. I remember when I first saw the test, I like put it down and like stared out the window for 30 minutes. Like single tear like rolled down my cheek.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Like I wasn't like, I love being pregnant. I was like scared the whole time.
Okay.
I was really scared of like how much my life is going to change. And I was right. It really changes a lot. Like,
Yeah, no fucking kidding.
yeah, I'm looking after this little tiny thing. Like it was on my tit before I came here. I'm just like, this is weird. It's all weird. But
But you guys, but you're both happy, obviously, when you were like, once you like, came
yeah,
you're like,
but I mean, we went through a lot though.
Yeah.
But
No,
so it took
yeah.
a while to like get into normal life,
Yes.
because of what we went through. So you know, I'm gonna have a scheduled induction
Mm-hmm.
because I'm older. Thankfully, no one called me a geriatric pregnancy, but that's a thing.
They
call
say,
it-
I know, that happens a lot.
yeah, luckily no one said that to me.
Offensive.
Truly, so you're like grandma
Yeah.
puss.
Mima's coming to give birth.
So they're going to induce me at 40 weeks because they don't want me to go longer because I'm older. So there's like a risk of stillbirth, and they do scare you. And so I'm like, well, I don't want my baby to be stillborn. So
what the hell?
you go with what the experts say.
Yeah.
And they want to induce me. So we're packed and ready. And like the good thing is you kind of know when you're going to have your baby. Like
Yes.
ish. And
Did
so
you have like a playlist and all that?
kind of, well, no, I was going to watch Vanderpump Rules like the whole time.
Okay.
I'm like a reality TV gal. You know that.
Okay.
So I was planning on doing that. And then we get there and they start me off with this tiny little pill that they broke into like a quarter. So it was like so small, called Cytotec. And they put it in your cheeks and then it dissolves. And it's supposed to be kind of like a slow start to
Okay.
get into it.
So
And
it's supposed to dilate you. What is this doing?
yeah, it's
Okay.
good to, yeah, it's like basically you're trying to trick your body into thinking like it's
go time.
ready to have
Okay,
a
all right.
baby. And so that's supposed to be like a slow start over the course of like 12 hours or something. And just right away, I start having contractions 1 minute apart, which is not normal. Like normally it's like 10 minutes apart, maybe like 5 minutes apart, but like bam, 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 1 minute, even less than a minute. And I'm like, so right away,
And you can feel this.
oh yeah.
Oh, okay, so that thing doesn't like numb you. It
No,
just,
no,
okay.
no. That comes later.
Okay.
That's the why do I want to say it? It's not induction? It's
The whatever the needle is. Yeah.
oh my god,
I
it's gonna
know-
come to me hopefully once I keep
Yes.
telling the story.
Yeah.
So 1 minute apart, which is intense. It's fucking a lot.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my, is this normal? Like, cause I've never done this before. I don't know if this is normal. It's not. So that was really painful. And then they take out, and then a few hours later, they decide to move on to the balloon.
So wait, as this is happening,
Yeah.
Sorry, are they like any kind of concern at this point? Are they like, this isn't?
Yeah.
This is kind of strange. Are they monitoring that this is not a normal thing to happen? Or are they like,
yeah, but no one seemed like alarmed.
okay, so you're like, okay,
Even though
they don't
I'm
seem
like,
alarmed.
this doesn't feel right. It was just like there was something in my gut that was like, this doesn't feel right. Like this
Okay,
doesn't
yeah.
feel normal. But none of the doctors seemed to be alarmed. They were just like, that's unusual. But they
right.
weren't like, like this is bad. And then so I really wasn't progressing. I wasn't dilating from that. So they didn't give me any more of that because I was reacting so strongly. Then they put this like balloon in your vagina, which is like they literally take the forceps and it's like this blue balloon and then like stick
and
it
it's
in
not
like
numb. You're not numb down
not
there. right
numb
now.
yet.
So
I
they're-
could
they're-
have. There are women that go in and they're like, epidural. Right?
Yes.
They're like, before they even start anything, they're like, give me the epidural. I don't want to feel a thing. But my whole thing was like, like I want to like kind of be like a woman and like
Yeah.
feel what the contractions feel like. And I was
Okay.
like, my whole plan was like, I'll go as long as I can go and then I'll get the epidural.
Yes.
But again, it was so early because once you get the epidural, you can't feel your legs anymore.
Right.
Like you can't move your legs.
So you're like, this seems a
So
bit
you're
too
then you're on
quickly,
like you have a
yes.
catheter and
Yeah.
you're bedridden. So I was like, I
Oh,
want to
catheter.
move.
I never thought about that.
Yeah. So I was like, I want to hold off. And it was so early to be getting
Yes.
it because I was already having these women contractions, but we're only like a couple hours in. So I was like, okay, well, let me hold off. And then they gave me the balloon.
So the balloon opens up your
your cervix. It's
Yeah,
like
so
I
how's
just
it going in again? I'm picturing like a fucking clown coming in and pumping a balloon. It's not that.
It's like these. I don't even know how they did it. They like they took the forceps like when you go get like a pap test, and then they like stick it in and they like inflate it.
Like is it like a red balloon? Like what,
I don't know what color it was. I think it was blue.
Okay,
but I don't think I really saw the balloon.
Okay, but it's like an actual normal balloon.
Yeah, they're doing like fucking.
Yeah,
they're making balloon animals like sticking.
What
it
do you
in there.
want?
Yeah,
she wants a poodle.
Okay, stick it in there. So they stuck the balloon in there, and it was really painful opening up. The thing that I remember the most is like pain. It's just so much pain, like having a baby. It's crazy. And also my whole time there.
So the balloon's supposed to, what does the balloon do again? It's opening you up.
Opening you're supposed to help you dilate.
Okay.
Because like you have to get to 10 centimeters in order for the baby to come out.
Okay.
And at that point I was like I did not want to come out. Baby did not want to come out. So they kept like trying to
So they're really forcing this.
Yes.
It's very unnatural right now.
Yes, which is why after the fact, a lot of people have been like, I fucking hate that they induced you. Because in Canada, they probably would have let me go naturally, which probably would have avoided all of this. I'm trying to like get to the juicy parts. But so anyway, the balloon, then like all night long, they're like changing me positions every 30 minutes.
And you're still not dilating. You're still.
Nope.
Okay.
So they wake up the next day.
Wait, is the balloon still in there?
Balloon's still in there.
Balloon's in. They put the balloon in.
I slept in that balloon.
The balloon stays in there.
Balloon stays in there. It's not just like a one-time thing. They like stick the balloon and they're like, okay, like see ya.
It's supposed to be a heavy-duty balloon.
I don't think
helium
it's
in
the
there?
regular balloons that we're used to.
Jesus.
Anyway, I ended up getting the epidural like 8 hours in because it was like 1 minute contractions all day long for 8 hours, and then I just like couldn't fucking take it.
And
anymore.
a balloon in your whole pussy.
And a balloon in my
sense.
pussy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to feel this anymore. And even the epidural is crazy. Like they stick a needle into your spine.
Yeah.
So it's all a lot. And as it's happening, I'm like, I can't believe every woman goes through this. Like it's.
And then men are like, women are stupid. Shut up.
You can't vote.
Yeah. Idiots.
It's literally insane. And all these men, I keep burping, they came out of a woman's vagina and then they take her rights away. Yeah. I don't get it.
It doesn't make any sense.
Especially after going through it. So anyway, the next day I've dilated maybe like 4 centimeters. And they start giving me this thing called Pitocin. And again, like it's just nothing feels quite right. My body's not reacting quite right. And whatever. So I get to 4 centimeters and then the baby's heartbeat drops, I guess. And then what happens is I start like shaking. And then the shaking becomes like convulsing. And then I'm like full on seizing essentially. And like my jaw is like my jaw is like clenched and I'm like completely seizing in the bed. And then like all these doctors come in. And
is Dave there like watching this?
Yes.
And he's like, what the fuck?
Really
was he like
up.
screaming at this point?
No, he wasn't screaming. I don't know what he was doing because I was like
busy.
You good, Dave?
I mean, like, he must have been like, what the hell is going on?
Yes. I found out later the shaking is actually normal, not anything to be alarmed about, which is insane.
Didn't know that.
Because it was, I felt like something is really wrong.
Yeah.
This is happening like, totally normal. Like, it's fucked up. So anyway, baby's heartbeat drops. And then the doctor comes in and he's like, okay, we're going. So emergency C-section. I'm like still convulsing. They like wheel me into the surgery room. They like.
Are you kind of seeing this? Are you like in a haze?
I'm completely alert.
Oh,
but yeah,
no.
That's the crazy part. They don't put you to sleep. I'm completely awake. So they like splay me out like Jesus Christ on this table. And then I suddenly just start feeling them like dumping liquid all over my stomach. They have like this curtain coming. Yeah, I guess before surgery, they put this like brown liquid on you. I don't know what it is. We'll have to Google it. I don't know. Jesus. Doctors, can you comment and let us know what that is?
It's the water from Bonnaroo. They're dumping the fountain from Bonnaroo.
Oh my God. That is what caused. I mean, I'd be dead on the spot.
Yes. Okay. I know there was a dumping. The dumping is new to me. Okay. The dumpy. I knew the curtain comes up so you can't see.
Can't see.
Thank God.
I mean, yeah. And then this anesthesiologist is like up above my head and he's like, let me know if you can feel anything. And then suddenly I just start feeling them like tugging on my stomach. And then I was like, okay, well, I feel tugging. And he's like, yeah, that's normal. And then I was like, okay, now I'm feeling pain. I started feeling some pain. And then he's like, okay. And then next thing you know, I find out after the fact, he gives me ketamine.
So you're high as hell.
I'm fucking high as a kite, like seeing all these visuals, and I'm just like tripping balls.
Oh my God!
While
like
I'm
seeing
giving
what?
birth. Well, speaking of Bonnaroo, I just remember feeling this tent. Like someone was putting like a tent over my head, and like a lot of these like goblins were like scurrying around.
Goblins scurrying?
Scurrying around like in this tent. I don't
This
even
is
know.
hell.
It was like a nightmare. As it was happening, I was like, this is the most fucked up moment of my entire life. Like nothing will ever top this. It was just like,
Goblins scurrying.
I
They're
mean-
taking apart your insides.
yeah, tripping on ketamine, giving birth was not on my bingo card. I did
No.
not think that was going to happen. I still don't know what the ketamine was for. I guess it was a painkiller.
I hope.
I
Who was
don't
this
know.
guy? This guy just came in with
Well,
a
literally
bandana.
after
He's
the fact,
"Want
he
some
was like,
ketamine?"
"What did that feel like?" I'm like, "You don't know? Like you
what
gave
the
it to
hell?
me." I don't know. He was like, "Let's give her a good time."
Jesus.
So, and then I sort of remember hearing like a baby cry, and then they bring the baby
So
around.
how long? At this point, you've no concept of
Like,
time.
no, but I think it was like 5 minutes. Like
Okay.
they got the baby out.
So you didn't
really
feel,
quick.
and you just felt the tugging, and then that was it.
That was it.
Okay.
And then I'm like tripping balls.
Okay.
And then the next thing you know, I hear a baby crying, and you're not really like aware of what is happening. And then they bring the baby around, they touch her to my cheek, and then baby's gone. And then the doctors just start chatting like they're at the water cooler. They're like, so like, yeah, like, what are you doing on Friday? Like, oh, I'm going to like line dancing this weekend. And I'm sitting there like,
Line dancing.
I don't know. They
Let's
was,
stitch up the body before we discuss the line dancing down at the tavern.
I mean, I guess it's that like normal for them to be stitching it up, like so they could just like. So it seemed like everything had gone just fine.
Yes.
because they were having normal chit chats on the other side of that curtain. But it's like you're not even there. It's like hello,
Hello,
like,
my
bedside manner.
yeah,
like, do
my
you need to
innards are on my
chit-chat
outwards. Yeah, what the
while I'm
hell?
here? Oh, I also heard apparently they like stick their placenta like on top of you while they are. Anyway, whatever. So it's
I
like
thought they put in like a bowl on the side.
no, they like put it on your chest.
That would have tripped you out even more.
Just, like,
you
plop it
little
on.
goblins just bouncing around your placenta. You would have lost your
Can you
mind.
imagine what would that look
Oh
like on ketamine?
God.
So then the room starts getting quieter and people start leaving. There's only like a few people left. And then I start hearing like, oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, oh no. She's bleeding. And then they pick up the phone. They're like, you need to come back in here. She's like bleeding profusely. So I guess after they had sewn me up, I just started gushing blood
Through the stitching?
out of my vagina.
Your vagina.
Yeah. And then maybe like the wound too. I don't know. But apparently in my vagina, I just started. And then I remember someone coming over the side and taking my blood from my arm. And then I remember them saying it was sludge. The blood in my arm had turned to like sludge. So they all like rushed back in.
Oh.
And I'm
Sludge is,
still like tripping balls.
sludge is
like,
the worst word to hear.
blood is sludge. Yeah, that's not good.
No, I don't think
No,
so.
not a good term for your blood to be.
Oh.
It's supposed to be liquid, not sludge. And so they didn't like open me back up or anything. I don't even remember what they did, but I remember like I was bleeding a lot and then they came back in, but then they didn't open me up or anything.
So the doctor comes back in, and does he look concerned? Or are you still like?
I have no idea. There's a curtain there. I have
okay.
no idea what happened. All I know is that it was like sludgy arm and like I was bleeding. And then like I don't really remember, but I know there was no surgery after that. So then they like wheel me into the recovery room after I like bled a bunch. And then, so I'm still like tripping balls and my husband comes out and talks to me and I'm like not feeling right. And then after like an hour or so, I like come down from the ketamine
Yeah.
and I'm feeling fine. And I think I'm fine. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that was crazy. And I had a baby and
Yeah, where's the baby?
well, baby has to be taken to like, I guess the NICU
Okay.
to be like monitored and they check her out and make sure.
And did you
everything's
know?
fine.
You knew before as a girl, right? Or did you find?
I
out?
knew before
Okay,
as a
okay,
girl. Yeah. I'm not a psycho. I needed to know. And then I'm feeling fine. And then I got to see. So then the doctors were all befuddled by me. They were like, "How do you feel?" And I was like, "I feel fine." And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they couldn't, and then literally they had like a powwow of like 20 doctors to talk about what had happened to me because none of them could understand why I looked so fine. Because apparently my vitals were showing that I was like dying, essentially. Because I lost so much blood.
They thought you were. They were like, "This is it."
Well,
and you were like, "Hey."
I'm like,
You're like,
what's
"What's
that? Can
up?"
I get some Fritos in here?
Yeah, you're like, "Where's Vanderpump Rules?"
Yeah,
I'm
literally
chomping at the bit for the next
chilling.
episode.
I was totally fine, and they could not figure out why I was fine because they're like, "You should not look like how you look right now." And I remember one doctor comes in and is like, "Look at her, she's fine. Like, send her home. She looks great." And the nurses were like so annoyed by him. I have to say, like, nurses are incredible and women are amazing. Like, all the women nurses, like, this male doctor was like, she's fine, send her home.
And the
they're
women
like,
are
you
like,
fucking idiot.
the
Like,
women are
she's dying.
staying. She's literally, she has the sludge inside of her.
Yeah, if we were up to this doctor, I'd
You'd be sludged up.
So they couldn't figure out why I was fine because, so I had lost so much blood. You're supposed to lose like 1,000. I don't want to get this wrong. I don't know if it's liters or gallons, what's bigger, but I lost like 1,700. So almost double. So when my organs all started to fail. And I was just like, do.
So did they do a transfusion?
Well, yeah, eventually, yes. So, but not right away. So anyway, I got to see my baby for 20 minutes.
Oh,
and at this
my
point, I
fucking
didn't
God.
know how serious it was. So literally, like, I see my baby, I'm like, oh my God, like, I had a fucking baby. And then they had to take the baby away, and they're like, we have to take you to the ICU. Like, you're not right. Like, this is not good.
This is bad. And you still can't feel anything. Like you have no like.
I don't know if the epidural had worn off or not. I think it maybe was wearing off. I don't think they gave me any more after that. So then 20 minutes, they like separated me and my baby, and like I had to go to the ICU, and baby was in the NICU, and I was in the ICU for 4 days after that.
4 days, no baby.
No baby, because they
Couldn't see
can't
it
bring the
once.
baby. Well, the only way I could see the baby is if a nurse, which a couple nurses were so fucking sweet, they had to take me down to
In
the
your
NICU,
bed.
but they would have to like have my heart monitor in a backpack and like bring all these wires and these things with me because they couldn't have me like unplugged. And these nurses would like take me down to the NICU, and I would get to see her
Did you
for
give
like,
them something?
I really want to go back.
Yes.
I want to go back to, I was in every unit for like so many days. I want to go back and give them all a gift.
Give them all a
because
firm handshake. Thank you.
I'm telling you, nurses, I kept telling them they were angels. They are so incredible. Like anything you could ever need. They're like your servants, essentially,
yeah.
but they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart to make sure you're comfortable and feeling like there were, I mean, I was going to get to it, but yeah, I had to have my ass wiped. Like I could not.
So,
wipe
okay,
my
so you
ass.
go back to the ICU.
Go to
and
the
what's
ICU.
going on now?
They sort of like, they bring me there and I'm just sort of there for monitoring. They don't give me a blood transfusion
And
right
they don't
away.
tell you. They don't tell you what's going on. They're just like, you have to be here. There's no
Kind
explanation.
of, yeah. They were just like, you lost a lot of blood. Like no one really tells you like you're really fucked up right now. They just sort of like, wasn't really sure why I was there or what was really going on. I didn't realize the severity of my situation until like after I got out of the hospital, I would say. So then that night, so they're really not used to getting women in there postpartum. So the nurse didn't really know. That nurse that night was not prepared to have me there because they're not used to they're used to like 90-year-olds like coughing up and about to die.
Yeah.
Like not a young
woman who just had a
for a
baby.
geriatric pregnancy, I felt very young in the
Yeah.
ICU. And so that night was the worst pain I've ever had in my life. I remember I was like sleeping, and then all of a sudden my body just like convulsed, and I woke up and the nurse was like, what was that? I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, well, it didn't hurt. I think it's okay. And then I think I was just like, I thought it was like, you know, when you're sleeping and you fall off like a cliff and you like wake yourself up. That's what I thought it was. The whole night I was like convulsing, and every time I would, because I just like had like your abdomen gets cut open.
Yeah.
So like it's the most excruciating pain. Like you don't realize how much you use your ab muscles. Like for every movement that you make, you're using your abs.
A cough, a sneeze,
anything. Rolling over, sitting up. And then so I would convulse. So my whole body had like, it was, I can't describe the pain, but it was happening all night to the point that in the morning, like when what just happened there? When I convulsed, I just started screaming like, I can't take the pain anymore. Like I think everyone in the ICU could hear me. Like it was like guttural. They're like, I can't take, because it was just like, and the nurse like didn't know what to do. So they had to take tests to see if I had internal bleeding afterwards.
God.
Turns out I had like a hematoma, which is like the blood was all like in my abdomen. Like it pooled in my abdomen, all of the blood. But it wasn't like internal. It was like in the layer in between.
Okay.
So there was like
better,
a big bruise. It's better. So they didn't have to cut me back open.
Okay.
But since I had lost so the next morning I woke up and my husband looked at me and I was like talking to him. He said, I'll be right back. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, I'll be right back. Apparently he went to the nurse and was like, she needs a fucking blood transfusion. Like right now. She does not look right. And then,
Were
so
you,
then
like,
they got
gray?
things
Like,
going.
your skin-
Yeah, apparently I was gray and really swollen. That was one thing that happened. I was so swollen. I looked like I got stung by a million bees. I sent you a video.
Yeah, the video's fucked. Susan, you're gonna mess up.
But I remember they put an IV in my hand and it puffed up so much that like it looked like it was like indented where the IV was, and the rest of my hand was just like puffed out. Like I looked like the Michelin Man.
Yeah, you were.
I was
you were
so puffed
swollen as
up.
hell.
So yeah, they gave me, and then so whatever. The next, I mean, long story short, the next 4 days, they were trying to get all my organs because my organs were all failing. So they were just trying to get all my organs to come
So
back.
you're like
to
hooked
life.
up to an IV. You're just like,
A million IVs. Like that's what the worst part was. Like I had
and
like
do you have a catheter in still?
catheter in, and I couldn't walk right away because my legs were so swollen. As I said, it looked like the Michelin Man, or the man from like Ghostbusters. Was that the Michelin Man?
No, that's the. You're thinking of the tire guy.
Okay, tire guy,
Yeah, I know
or
you're
the
talking
Michelin,
about- yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
I look like whatever. I look really fucking puffy, and so my legs weigh like 100 pounds because they're so swollen because they're pumping me full of liquids and fluids and all this medicine and the
and
blood
it's just
transfusions.
like floating around your body.
So I like, and also like your abs, like it's hard to sit up anyway, but like I couldn't get out of bed because I weighed so much and my abs had just been sliced open. So
So
then
what do you
I
think? You're not on your phone. You're just like thinking like you're dying. Like what are you thinking?
there were a couple times where I looked at my husband and I was like, am I going to die?
That's
But-
so scary.
I know. I honestly think it was bad for both of us. Oh, this is another thing that happened. After I got in the ICU the next day, Dave, my husband, isn't feeling well. And I think it's from exhaustion. So he's like, I'm
Yeah.
going to go home. I'm going to have like a nap or whatever. I'm like, must be nice. So, so he goes home and then just starts like shitting and vomiting and like cannot stop. And we think he got neurovirus from the hospital.
Oh my god.
So
And the
worst thing-
baby's just fucking
chilling in the
living her
NICU.
life. Okay.
Yeah, chilling in the NICU
God.
by herself because my grandparents couldn't go there without like us. They need a
Yes,
parent
yes.
there. And so I just remember like being in the ICU dying, and Dave, I'm on the phone. I'm like, "Are you okay?" Because he's like puking and shitting. I'm like, "Way to make this about yourself." I'm dying in the hospital. You got poo poo. You got throwing up. Is that bad? I'm dying. So he couldn't come back in the hospital.
Because he was so sick.
Yeah, and like the last thing we wanted is for me to get sick. So I had to go through it alone.
No, you can't. No.
Well, Dave's parents were amazing, and they came and
Okay.
made sure like someone was always with me because
Yeah,
there
okay.
were so many doctors coming in and giving me information.
And you don't know what the hell's going on. You're
No,
like, I can't
I'm
take
like,
this in.
it's a lot. And so there's someone always there. But yeah, Dave was gone then for like 4 days. And that was really hard. Like
Yeah,
being there
being alone,
by myself.
yeah.
And the worst part was, I feel like I said that so many times. There's so many worst
The worst part was I had a blood transfusion. The worst part was I had a hangnail.
so
And
many
boy,
worst
that was
parts.
annoying.
It was so painful in the abdomen. Like I couldn't laugh, but I also couldn't cry. And like all I wanted to do was just like sob because Dave wasn't there and I was in the hospital and like I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And all I wanted to do was sob. So the whole time, like ow. And then I just had to like suck it up. And I was like, you cannot break down. Like you have to be strong. So through that whole thing, like I could not break down at all the entire time because it was so painful.
Yeah.
So it was the whole time I was just like, dying was not an option. I was just like, of
No.
course I'm gonna, like, what? I think that's what got me through it too. And like why I survived, I guess, was I was just like, well, I'm not gonna die.
No, I'm not dying like
fucking
this.
die. That's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna have a baby and die. And I've never had any
Yeah,
health
what
issues. at
year
all.
is it?
I know that was another thing.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck? So what did they say after this whole thing where they were like, how common is this? to
That's the
happen?
worst part. Okay, so my OB says, you're my 1 in a billion. Like she sort of like says it with a
One
smirk.
in a billion.
Yeah, she's never happened to her, especially because my pregnancy was so normal. So after the pregnancy, I developed postpartum preeclampsia, which is like really high blood pressure and you can like
Okay.
have a stroke. So I had to take blood pressure medication after. And then when I left the hospital, they had to leave. I had to have an at-home IV because I also developed a blood infection while I was there.
Oh my God. This is a bad time.
It's a bad experience. And then, of course, as soon as I get out of the hospital, every woman comes out of the woodworks of like, I had the worst pregnant birth ever. I almost died. My baby almost died. I'm like, why aren't more women talking about
Yes,
this?
seriously.
Because I would have like, everyone's like, isn't it better that you went in naive? I'm like, no, I would have liked to know
have a little bit of something.
that it's really dangerous. Birth is still in 2025 really dangerous. And it's like, it's not guaranteed that you or your baby are going to be fine.
No. And it's not like we're trying to scare people out here, but, you know, it's good to hear some fucking facts.
Little heads up.
Heads up.
Even the normal procedures of pregnancy were fucked up and painful. And like, it's no joke. Like, women are, I was a feminist before, but even now I'm even more so. Like,
oh, yeah.
Women are insane, like warriors, like what we go through to have babies. And there's 8 billion people on earth. Every human in the history of mankind has come out of a woman's body. And like, we have medication now. Like, women used to just raw dog it.
I can't believe that.
I understand why so many women died in childbirth. Like, it's serious.
It's serious. And they had none of this stuff.
No, they didn't have an epidural back in the day.
Ketamine. This is crazy. No fucking tripping balls. I'll tell you what. I don't think I'm having a baby because of this story.
Oh no!
No.
Well, mine was 1 in a billion. Like I'm
I
telling you, like I get mugged by women, I get bit by a snake, I go parasailing, I land in the water. Like shit happens to me.
What was
that
this
happens.
story?
I don't know.
Wait, so let's wrap this story up before we look. Baby's fine.
Baby's fine. Her name is Fiona Jane.
She's very cute.
She's. I mean,
you sent me a photo, and I get very judgy when I get first photos of babies. And I went. That's actually a very cute baby.
Wow,
I said it out loud because sometimes that first look is keep it to yourself. Sometimes
I know, and that's a compliment. And listen, I was going into it thinking she might be an ugly baby. She might. I was hoping she wouldn't. But my husband's very got a great face.
Was he a cute baby too?
You really cute baby.
Okay.
Like huge, big eyes, big lips, a lot of hair. Yeah. So yeah, she's really cute. She's great. She's like just starting to smile, but we're both performers, so our egos, like, it's really hard. We're like, our bits are bombing. We're like, we're like putting all this, and she's like, deadpan, doesn't give a fuck. And I'm like, give me a smile. So she's just starting.
What main question here? Would you have another one?
See, that's okay.
And that's yeah.
No, but it's funny that we would already be thinking about this, but we are because I grew up with siblings. Honestly, it's not even about the baby that I want another baby, because even this one is like a lot, and mentally it's crazy. Like, cause I lived my whole life. I'm 39. Like I did it late in life. So I really like knew who I was. And it's like, my whole life has changed.
Yes.
Like I was really entrenched in my life, and now it's like totally different.
Baby time.
But I don't know. Like I would maybe want it, cause I feel like only children are,
they're weirdos.
They're weirdos.
But so this is good to know that, okay, if you're listening and you're thinking about having a baby, after all of that, you're still like, oh, maybe.
Maybe.
And that's crazy.
I would have to do a scheduled C-section.
Yes.
I could never, my doctor said you should never go into labor ever again.
No, you need to be the scheduler.
Which is crazy because I'm super athletic. My sister like slipped the baby out in 20 minutes. Like both my sisters, no problem. My mom had all three of us, no epidural, natural, easy peasy. And they say like, ask your family how they had their babies, and that'll be probably how you have yours. Of course.
Turns out
I'm the only one that almost
that's
died.
Not true.
Yeah, perfectly healthy my whole life.
And so the worst thing is this happened in America.
Yeah.
So.
The bills are rolling in one at a time, let me tell you. I mean, I have health insurance, luckily.
Okay.
So
but it's not
still,
like,
it's going to be, I mean, almost $6,000 probably. But that's
$6,000 isn't bad.
It's not bad.
Okay. I think it's like 600,000.
But guess what? In Canada, free.
Yeah.
Completely free.
$6,000. That feels better.
Yeah. But in Canada, I wouldn't have to pay $6,000, which would be cool. Everyone's like, why did you have the baby here? I don't know.
Because you live here, we live here. What are you going to do? Drive across the fucking border? You can't fly.
I know. And you have to live in Canada for 6 months to get your health care back.
Oh, yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. And in Canada, this is the question. It's like chicken or the egg. Like, oh my God, another thing I forgot to tell you, the baby like flipped right before she was born, and her umbilical cord was like almost completely detached, hanging by a thread. But there's so many parts of the story. We don't have enough time for it.
God.
But in Canada, they wouldn't have induced me. There's a friend of mine who's the same age as me, and she had a baby, and they just let her go. And so if I wasn't induced, would all of that have happened? Probably not.
Probably not.
And they induced you a lot more in
Well, because
America.
I feel like they're rushing you in and out.
Yes, my body was not ready. The baby did
they're
not want
like,
to
we
come.
have a schedule. We have 16 more births today in and out like a fiddler's elbow.
Yeah, but they all come in talking like this. They
Yeah,
wear
all the
mechanics
doctors are from
outfits.
fucking Queens.
Come
You
on
get
now.
in, you get out, you get a fucking pastrami sandwich. What do you want
That'd
from
be
us?
nice, honestly.
Honestly, I love pastrami sandwich right now. I'm
Me
starving.
too. With
I'm
like
back
melted
on my
cheese.
fucking diet.
No,
I'm
you're
counting my
not. Is
calories
this
again,
banana
yeah.
diet? Well, you look great.
No. Thank
It's
you.
not
No,
soup diet?
No,
Is it
I'm not soup dieting. I'm back on just like my regular dieting and
Why,
bullshit.
is something coming up, or you're just like,
Yeah, my special's out June 24th.
oh my god, that's soon.
very soon.
Like, what's gonna happen after?
Well, here's the
Doors
thing.
are gonna open.
Well,
Opportunities
here's
are
the
gonna
thing,
flood
though.
in.
It's not the early fucking 2000s anymore. There's a lot of specials out there. There's a lot of content to get through. So we just have to hope that mine gets seen by a couple of the
right
the right
beepers?
people, the right beepers.
Yeah.
My main thing from this is that I really hope it gets people to see me as more of an actress because
Okay.
I'm
Comedians make the best actresses.
I'm done with the
because
road.
we're fucked up. Oh, you're done with
I'm
the
down
road.
with the road. I'll do one nighters, but these weekends they're blowing my back out. They're blowing my
Why? Because your bits.
my bits and the planes, and I'm
and
I'm
the
sick all the
beds.
time from the travel, and I miss my fucking dog. She's
Yeah.
5 now. It's like I can't be away from her.
Yeah.
It's upsetting.
That's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
as we get older, I mean, I feel like the pandemic changed all of us, but like, I don't like to leave the house.
I hate leaving.
Yeah.
I could stay here all night.
I would say I stay in all the time.
I did have a show the other night. I went to bed 8:45 p.m.
What?
and I passed out. There's no fucking around.
I have a baby. I don't even go to bed that early. That's early.
So wait, she's sleeping through the night now?
No.
No,
But
that takes
let
a
me-
while.
She's a good fucking baby. And I will say this, when we were in the hospital and we were really going through it, because I was going through my own thing. My husband was going through a lot. He thought his wife was going to die. Like we were
Yeah.
just shoveled. And I lost my train of thought. What was
Good
I
baby.
just saying? Good baby. It's still baby brain. She was an angel baby. And we were going through a lot. And I think if she was tough, and they
Yeah.
really can be tough, that
Oh,
would have
yeah.
been, that would have made our time like really hard.
Yeah, that
Because
would
we
have
were
been
dealing, I was like recovering. Like that's the crazy thing is
So how long did that take? Yeah, because that takes. How bad's the scar? Is it bad?
it's actually not bad. And I
really?
will say this, like we were coming into it like I'm an athlete, I'm going to kill this, and then my body almost died. But me being an athlete, I think helped me recover
Yes.
really quick. Like my OB said my body was magical. I'll take
Okay.
it. I'll take it.
And not being like, a smoker or any of that stuff because
yeah.
like
I healed really, really well. And like,
And, like-
I have a friend who got a C-section like weeks before me, and she's like still feeling pain. And I'm like, I'm good.
and you're
And
fine, you're lifting things up.
I
and,
didn't
yeah.
take a lot of painkillers in the hospital, actually, after what I went through.
Well, at that point, I'm like, I think you had enough stuff drilled into your fucking body.
I took a bit of
can't-
oxys and whoo-wee, I was, but it's like you have a baby, you don't
Yeah.
want to be like,
Yeah.
baby, like
all fucked
It's
up.
also crazy to give you oxys and like that's fine to breastfeed your baby. I'm like, really? Is it?
That seems
Doesn't
bizarre.
seem right.
I mean,
I don't
I'm
know.
no doctor. Just because we're in a doctor's office here doesn't mean I'm no doctor.
Oh right, yeah, right. I think you would be
This
because
is- this is it.
You got a scale.
I got a scale.
Honestly,
I
this is
got-
nicer than some of the doctor's offices I've been to in LA.
I've been the one over here that's by our house, the one on Santa Monica and Western. It's disgusting.
That's the doctor's. Have you been there?
I've been there 100 times. The guy wears a fedora and a bunch of rings. It's just,
Your doctor
I
wears
think
a
one
fedora
time he
and
checked
rings?
my fucking hemorrhoid and he wasn't wearing gloves. It's disgusting over there.
So you get a ring stuck in your
I don't know.
ass. What is
Wait,
that?
we're getting close to wrapping up soon, but I want to hear did you think of your worst story? The grossest thing you ever heard?
I mean, it was honestly just all Laura stories.
Okay.
Like how she okay, this is actually I thought about telling this story. It actually has to do with Susan, and I was like never gonna tell you this story, but I talked to my friend Deb the other day.
What?
I don't think it's actually gonna shock you, to be honest, but it is kind of funny. I was dog sitting for Susan.
I love how I'm hearing this for the first time right now, and I'm
We're
going to be
get
terrified.
I honestly I don't. I'm sure she's done worse things, but I was on a hike with Deb, and like she like runs off into this like under this tree. She's like mucking around in there.
Yeah, I know where this is going.
You know where this is
Yeah, I
going.
think I know where this is going.
So she comes back out. She's like, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, oh no, what did she eat? Did she eat shit? So like, oh no, she ate like animal shit. And like as we get closer, we're like, oh my God, That's human shit. She went in there and ate like a homeless man's shit.
Yep.
And we were literally on the hike like, "Ugh." I think I barfed. Like
Yep.
there's a distinct smell when it's human shit.
No, she
smells
she loves human shit.
What?
She's done this several times, and I know it's human shit because there's a pile of wipes, toilet paper beside it. I put my she ate a piece of human shit over here by her neighborhood. 3 months ago, I go drop it. I put my hand in, I pull it out, my fingers. Caitlin.
No.
I go. I'm like gagging. I actually can't think about it.
I know, I'm gonna
I
gag.
drag her back to the house. I burn my fingers.
No.
My fingers are.
I'm gonna
I
be
brush her teeth. Okay. No, it's not. Oh my god. I've never anyone barf on the podcast. Okay, no.
human shit
Stop.
smell. Can't.
Drink some liqueur. Oh my god. No, she's gross. I thought you were gonna say she ate a condom, and she's done that before. But
Yeah, that's what I said. And like honestly, I've never
No.
told you the story. Me and Deb
No,
were like, we
I-
swear to secrets you can never tell Steph. And I'm like, I'm sure she's eaten worse.
And never dog shit. Only human shit. You're
No.
gross. Hey, this is why people think I abuse you because you're gross. Come here, come up here. Come up here for the
Susan,
final
why
goodbye.
you eat
Come up here
human
for the final
shit?
goodbye.
What is
come
it
up
that
here.
smells so
Come up here. Come up here for
good?
the final goodbye. Come up.
Oh,
Yeah, get your big butthole.
Susan cuckoo.
Okay. I feel like I know she loves it. She's a fucking sap.
Susan, you have to live forever.
There's new pills. Have you heard of these?
No.
There's new dog pills. I gotta look these up. Where apparently the dogs can live longer, but I'm scared. I'll pay
Why? Because
whatever.
they're like in trial periods or whatever?
Yeah, and I want to wait and make sure. She always looks right at the camera.
Swedish dog in the land. What's your dog voice?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of the same.
It's the
I don't
same?
really have. I mean, I do a little like, who's the little baby? Oh, does she want tits in? Oh, she loves tits in.
That's a dog voice
That's dog
for
voice.
sure. You don't talk to humans that way.
No, maybe I do. That's why I talk to Jefferson.
My husband and I have a bad.
Yeah, Coco,
Yeah,
Coco.
She loves it. See, now she's coming over. She wants that.
Do you know that voice has
Wow.
a name? It's called the motheress. Shit, I fucked it up. The motheress voice.
Mother S. Look, she loves it.
It's sister. Yeah, Coco,
Oh, she loves it.
You love it
Well, I
so
can't hit that
much.
octave, Susan.
No, you can't. Unfortunately.
Okay, well, what I would say, what's the funniest way you could die? But I mean, I feel like it happened to you.
Okay, so I looked something up because I was
Okay.
like trying to think of something on my own. A man in Barcelona, there was this dinosaur statue. And a man in Barcelona, he dropped his phone in it. I don't know how. And he died in one of the dinosaur legs.
Try to go find his phone.
I guess so.
How did he die in there? No one
Couldn't get
doesn't know.
out. Fall in the dinosaur leg in a statue and could not get back out.
But he had a cell phone. Why couldn't he call? No service in the leg.
Okay, well, I don't know about the cell phone, but the police said they think he went in to get his cell phone.
And he never came out.
Fell in a leg. Died
So
in
he
a
was by,
dinosaur
first
leg.
of all, the funniest part is that he was by himself climbing around a dinosaur, a man.
Did anyone see him climbing into this
I
dinosaur?
mean, I would hope not. Maybe his family was like, oh no, what happened to dad? What if he was a bad man?
And they just
Let's
left
spin
him
it
in
to
the
make it look
dinosaur.
nice.
Oh,
Maybe
like
he's
you
a
think he was
bad-
on a trip with his family
And he's
then he went in
bad.
there
And they were
just
like, hey, go in there. Yeah.
just left him in the dinosaur
Oh
leg.
no, where did daddy go?
But it's in Spain. They're like, oh, he died in a dinosaur leg.
That's it. He died in the
I don't know.
That's a
I was
really
like trying to
bad
think of the
Spanish
funniest way
accent.
to like, whoa, slip on a banana and fall off a cliff. And no, I think it's funny that the guy who invented segways drove a Segway off a cliff.
I heard that. Yeah,
was
that's very
pretty
funny.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I don't know. What's yours?
That's it. I don't know. I keep changing it. Who knows what mine is anymore?
What was the best one you heard on the podcast?
Funniest way to die? I can't remember. I've heard so many now. I wish I had a good one that I was
I
like.
know. I was trying to think of a good one and I just couldn't.
People
so I
have very
looked
like
one up.
long ones, lengthy. Sometimes I forget to ask. I don't know.
Another one I saw was like this old philosopher. Apparently, an eagle dropped a turtle on his head.
That's hilarious. Okay, now I know my favorite one.
Okay.
Doo-doo-doo. Gunk,
Turtle,
gunk.
eagle, and he's a philosopher. Like, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
What does that mean,
What
sir?
does that mean, world? Chime in the comments. I never
Shout
say
in the
that.
comments. What
Hey,
does it
what
mean
does
when
it
a
mean?
turtle falls on your head by an eagle?
Well, I'm glad you're alive.
Thanks, me too.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you for
cool.
coming on here. Thank you for listening to Steph Infection. Where can everybody find you online?
At Kaitlin Mamie. I know we had discrepancies about the
Yes.
name. At Kaitlin Mamie on Instagram and TikTok. And Yeah, I have a video game coming out later in the year.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so then follow you so you can follow along with that.
That's right.
There we go. That's
There
great.
we go. Thanks for having me. It was so fun to catch up.
Oh, wasn't it good job?
Thanks, sister.
Subscribe to my YouTube for the crying in the mud, and
I've never heard that
rate
one.
my podcast so I can get on. I don't know, some sort of list.
need
Thank
some
you.
sponsors.
I need sponsors. Bye.
Bye.